but along the line, we might skip it. Okay. So now after you've written your position, UI designer, UX designer, UI UX designer, product designer. Um, Different between UI UX and product is actually the business side of things. So product, they integrate business with interface and experience. UI UX is just simply about the interface and the experience, but product then is sit at the intersection of both UI, UX, and business goals. So that's what product. That's the major difference between UI, UX, and product design. UI is your interface. I mean, we're talking about it. So if your major strength is UI design, you might want to use UI design. If your major strength is UX, use UX design. There's UX researcher also. I mean, if you go deep into the fields in UI, UX, you see UX researcher, UX designer, UI designer, right? Well, now that our current demographic is Nigeria, and they are big on generalists. Generalists in the sense that they want someone who can do more than one job because of limited budget. But if you go outside the country, they are big on specialists. So they want if you are UI, let me know you are UI. So the UX does their job. All you need to do is perfect what the UX has done aesthetically. If you are UX, focus on UX. But I would advise that we use the T format of learning. So T, the top has a bar, a horizontal bar showing width, right? So how wide is your span? So what do you know? I know UI, I know UX, I know research, I know um, motion. That is the T. I do the bar on top of the T. Now the vertical I is where you now talk about specializing. So good and fine. I know UI, I know UX, I know about research, and I'm conversant with all these things. But I specialize in UI. That's where you now go deep into one niche, so that you can balance both Nigeria sector and balance the American or the abroad way of thinking. At the same time, remain valuable in your company because anywhere you can impute, right? If you decide to major in UX, when probably something's happening in the UI and then you see something off, you can spot that out. If you're in UI and then when perfecting your UI, you see that the experience is not too clear, it can be better. You can offer suggestion to the UX team. Now that you're valuable in that sector. So that's what I will advise. Now going back to personal branding, it's talking about your AVI. So if you're using an image, yeah, now it's advisable to stay with that image for a longer period of time. So you don't just decide to change your image like a WhatsApp status 24 hours, no. So you want people to know this is this person. Um, Sorry, I will have to turn on my Gen now. Umi, can you help me carry on, please? Give me some time.
Hi, good evening, everyone. How are we doing? Yeah, is
Good
everything cool?
evening. Good evening, Umi.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
How about you?
What about you?
Yeah, I'm doing awesome.
Glad
Okay,
to hear that.
thank you. Okay, so I'm not big on giving speeches like that. So I'll just go straight to the point. In essence, what he's saying is that you should position yourself for opportunities to find you without you needing to work too hard to get these opportunities. And you might see an opportunity you want to venture into, but you can't venture into that because you are not well positioned. And not being positioned in the sense that I'm not going deeper into I'm not talking about your skill set or your work. I'm actually talking about at the level of what people can see, what people talk about you, what if anybody sees your profile, what they would think. So if your profile is that kind of profile that a recruiter will come to, and they won't get that prompt to actually reach out to you to look or ask for your service, that means you've not positioned yourself well. So that's basically what it's explaining. So, and to do that, every platform has their own, and then as a person you want to like keep a consistent profile throughout the social medias, you want to be showcasing your work for LinkedIn, for Twitter, for Instagram, Dribble, and Pinterest. I think that's where designers mostly showcase their work. There is Facebook. Facebook community, design community on Facebook is mostly abroad persons like US. You see US persons having Facebook group where they discuss UI UX, they share opportunities and all of those things. So if your profile is consistent, like if you try to Google my name now, like just say type Fatima Omi or type my username Omi UX, I'm the first person you're going to see. So did you position yourself such that you're findable, or if anybody tries to check that, oh, who is this person? Is the person even good enough? They would get that prompt to reach out to you. So and put have bios that will actually sell, like that is authentic, that is not sounding like you're just trying to sell, but it's actually you have authority. It's actually selling that you have authority in the space. So instead of saying that like I'm a product designer, you can say product designer designing this and that. If you see my own, I use designing. I've actually forgotten. Now that I want to talk about it, I don't know it again. Designing growth-driven experiences that is accessible to everyone. Growth-driven in this, I've positioned myself in the growth space. There is what we call growth as design is concerned. It's not a very popular space. You can look it out. You can position yourself to be an accessibility person. You can position yourself as a UX researcher or a UX person. Depends on what aspect of design you are very good at, or you can talk about very well without like, or you want to actually venture into the aspect of design that sits well with you, that you want to work on gigs around. So that's just it. I said I'm not big on speeches. I've spoken for a while. Yes. So if you need any help around that, you can reach out to us to help you. And if you have any questions around those, you can reach out to us. You don't have to wait until you have perfected your design skills before you start positioning yourself. You can start it right now. What you just come and do later in the future is actually update your works, because your experience is far greater than what you had previously on your profile. So you want any recruiter to not see you as a beginner or an enthusiast or a junior or an entry-level person. You want them to see you as somebody that can deliver, so that they would not bring shitty jobs to you, or they will not underpay you because they think your work is this or your work is that. Yeah, that's basically it. I'm not Emmanuel's mind, so I wouldn't know other stuff that he would want to share. But those are just my 2 cents.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah, something I'd like to highlight also is the fact that I'm big on posting your work, right? I've seen somebody reach out to us. I have a friend that a client reached out to him just because he liked his growth rate. So 2 months ago, he posted a design and it was also great. Now, in the next 2 months, he posted another one, which was fantastic. Now, if someone can grow this rapidly in 2 months, imagine if they're now in a structured environment. Imagine if you own this person in a structured environment running at this exponential growth rate. So your design might be mess in quote, right? But showing up every day, let people know that this is what you do. And one thing about the social media algorithm is that it's a game of numbers. So it's structured in a way that the more recurring your posts are, the more visibility it gains. So that's why if you notice that if you were actually a big shot on Facebook back then, if you and then you left for about a year or two, if you go back to post, the engagement you get is not the same you used to get back then. It's life, right? So same thing because you're not posting every single time, so the algorithm doesn't favor you. But then when you constantly then just put out your work, if you are the person big on likes, yeah, which I would not advise. But if you constantly put out your work, over time you recognize real, and then you start getting the engagement you show desire. But that's not the purpose of posting on your work. It can stand as an accountability partner for you that okay, I've not done something today. I would like to do something and then stay on the loop. That works. Personally, I put it out there in case I'm inspiring someone else to do something. So that also works. Another way I approach my posting of work is the fact that if I'm looking to break into maybe the next job I'm looking for is maybe a real estate job. Now I start making designs tailored to real estate. You see more of real estate products, dashboards, web apps, mobile apps, website, just real estate, and I'm putting it out there. Now I'm targeting someone. I don't know the person yet. I do this also on my WhatsApp. I'm targeting someone I don't know you, right? But then it's registering somewhere in your head. So in case you hear it out there, I need someone to do something for me about real estate. I'm the first that will be in your mind because a few moments ago you saw a post of real estate and it worked for you. So I'm the first person you reach out to, and that works. Also, it lets clients know that you are active. You're not those that just come. I woke up and say I got bored and decided to do. No, no, no. You're active. I mean, you are growing. You are growing as you go.
Yes.
Then
Let me also add to that.
yes.
If you really want to grow fast, you should actually post your work, like share your work, because some people will just reach out to you. Not they don't. They are not looking at. Nobody. I don't even know how to put it. I won't say they're not looking at the quality of your work, but then they see you as somebody that is growing and is consistently making efforts. So, and I have persons that have reached out to me severally to like give me testimonies on that just because they share their work. So if you really want to grow fast, you should share your work very often. Yeah, Manuel, you can continue. That's what I wanted to add.
Okay, and then also if you put your work out there, yeah. So there might be some developers out there looking to test their hand on something, but they don't know how to approach you on that, how to approach anybody on that kind of thing, yeah. Now that you've posted something like that, they will reach out to you and be like, I'd like to flesh this out if you permit. And if you give them the go ahead, you have one live product out there. Not live in quotes, but yeah, if you write it on your portfolio, maybe you can link the user, I mean the client or employer to something live. Now that shows that you can both design and work with development team. But there are people that design heaven and earth. It's not codable, right? But if they can see something live and it looks like what you designed, that means you rendered a level of technical support to the development team when they were doing this. Meanwhile, it's actually not a real project, but then it's out there because we worked on it. Yes, Chinema.
Good evening, everyone. I have a question about putting work out. Like this one, the work has been working, the work has been on. They are all replications of other people's work. Is it not going to be like the garrison to post it as like to post it online, but it's someone else's work that you just replicated?
Okay, so personally myself, yeah, I won't say it is. It depends on the context you drop it in, right? So if you come and say that you maybe you did this without probably giving credit to the person if you know the person, then that's plagiarism. But if you come with the context of in an attempt to hone your skills, you've embarked on a 20 days challenge on designing pixel perfect designs. Here are my outputs so far. 1, 2, and every 20 days you come and you drop out to 20 screens, right? Now, nobody will call you out and tell you you did this because from the onset you've already cleared it out that this is your intent and this is how you're going about it. So it's not plagiarism. Now, something I also like to cite is the fact that designs you see out there, nothing's original. I'll still always say, there's a book you want to read, still like an artist, right? Now, it says that nothing is original, but combination of multiple inspiration give birth to unique ideas, unique in quotes, because that unique is not original. So what I'm trying to say is, if your aim is to perfect your UI skills, then don't worry about people saying you're plagiarizing. Don't think about it. Yeah. Because if I design 20 UI, 20 onboarding screens, 20 onboarding flows, right? And when I move into the sector, into the industry full time, when I'm now working on a client project, and the client asks me to design an onboarding section. Now, I would not think about how would I go about this. It's already in my mind because I've done this about 20 of it. So it's just about how do I channel what I'm doing to fit the client's project needs. That's what you're doing. No more how would I do it, what is needed in this section and all of that. And the client will not just come to meet you except he has seen that you can do this. That's where the posting your work comes into play. And something you might want to do again if you're not still convinced that you are going the right path is audit the platform. I'm designing something pixel perfect yet. But now when I'm in there, I see that the button the person used in his design doesn't give off the button vibe. Maybe it's a star, and now stars are not conventionally used as buttons, but then in the person's design, it was used to depict the button. And that's a poor UX, right? So you can then audit that design before you then create your own design. So I don't think you will still call that plagiarizing because now you've seen that this can be better. Probably the image the person used did not depict the micro copy that was used on the hero section. I mean, the micro copy is telling you something um, about a car hailing service, right? And the image you are putting is a family together having dinner. There's no correlation. But then you changing the image alone already gives you an advantage over whatever is out there, and it's not plagiarizing. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand. Thank you.
Yeah. Your hands are down. Did I answer your question or not?
Okay, yes, sir. My question was actually my first question was the first one that Chidima asked. My second question is, he made mention of going into different niches. Well, I don't know, but how would you know the niche to go to? Is it like as designers we can just go into, or as product designers, sorry, we can just like go into any niche we prefer? And if I want to be a UI UX designer, not just like a UI designer, so how do I strike the balance? I don't know if that putting it in the like right, if I don't know if I'm asking it rightly, but how do I strike the balance as a UX designer and a UI designer, and of course a UX researcher? Because for me, I'm a technical content writer, right? Yes, and I would like to incorporate my writing skills into UX research too. So, what would your advice be, and how would I strike the balance?
Okay. So along the course of this program, we've introduced you guys to UI, we've introduced you to UX. Yeah. Now, if you see when you were when you were growing up, now JS1, JS2, JS3, they will teach you everything, both social, arts, everything. Then SS1, you then pathway into science and art class. Now, by that time, you should know, okay, my strength is science, so I would like to be with my strength. My strength is art. I want to be more inclined to my strength, which is art. The same way we've handled UI, we've talked about everything about UI fundamentally. We've handled UX. Umi did a fantastic job when she was handling UX. Like she went deep down to give you guys what you need. to decide on where you want to be. If you're not decided, yeah, if you still feel that you like both of them, you want to collect both of them, then go for it. But whatever the case may be, there must be somewhere the scale can never be balanced. There must be one that will outweigh the other. So you might tilt towards UI, meaning you derive playing with pixels. You derive joy playing with pixels. On the other side, you might derive joy speaking with users. You might like how you converse with them, how you get insight from them, how you manipulate data from them. Now that's UX. At the same time, you might like doing both of them. But in an industry, it's best to just stay one place. Especially as I said, if you are doing the international industry, it's best to stay one place, but still give your support at the other side. Talking about technical writing, it's fantastic stuff that you're also inclined of technical writing because UX writing is a very vital and important section of the whole experience of a platform. I mean, if I tell you order now and just put order, so both sentences are different. They both mean the same thing. They were both placed in the same button, but order now is giving you the vibe to press it now, like you're going to miss out on something if you don't do it now. But then order is just like, okay, order if you don't want, they go your way. That's where UX tries to come into play again. So if you want to balance that also, you can actually be a generalist. Like you do UI, you do UX writing, you do research. You can be a generalist, and that's totally fine. But in the international market, generalists do not really earn much compared to specialists because they believe that specialists they've put in their time effort into mastering a particular craft. What Bruce Lee said, don't fear a man who knows 1,000 kicks, but fear a man who knows one kick 1,000 times, who has done one kick 1,000 times, basically. So that's the difference between specialist and generalist. But you can merge both, just you trying to find a way to incorporate all three. Do you get that? I don't know if Umi has something
Yes,
to
sir.
say on it.
Alright. Yeah, I'll start from the part of actually sharing their work. I just remembered I'll just share my own story. I actually got my first work as an intern through sharing my work. I was just doing it, sharing it. And let me tell you, I don't share work that I design myself. I share works that I replicate because I have something I'm following and I'll be able to measure that I've done the right thing because somebody else has done it before, rather than share the original one I created myself. So whenever I recreate design, I post it and say, look at my recreation of this, that. That's how I've been doing. Then a company reached out to me that I should come and intern with them. I rejected because I was feeling like they want to colonize my design. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I designed one UI, mobile UI for buying groceries. A lot of persons showed interest in the even developers reached out to me that they want to code it. So and I was very naive. I didn't see that as I didn't see that as opportunity. I was like, oh, these people want to carry my design and go and sell it or do something. So I let go. Then I kept on doing what I'm doing. I kept on exploring. I kept on networking. Then the same company still did not give up. They reached out to me again. Then I accepted. And that's how I started scaling. And basically, when you put yourself out there, people reach out to you. You don't necessarily need to struggle to get job. And when you do actually apply to some jobs, you have a real experience to put there because you've worked with a team or you've worked with a company, and that's something a lot of persons consider before they employ you. Which other points did you ask about again?
Yes, I was trying to ask how, in terms of balancing, how do you balance? Say you want to be a UI designer, UX researcher, you want to be everything, but not really everything. But how do you balance it since you don't know where you want to tilt to at the moment?
Okay. I'm actually a generalist. Like, but I don't put it out there that I'm a generalist. We are working with Is that from me?
So, yeah, sorry about that.
If you're working with Nigerians or if you want to get job from Nigerians, they will want you to be that kind of master of all kind of person. They would ignore your application because you only know UI or because you only know UX. They would rather go for somebody that knows how to, that can do everything. But if you're targeting outside, you need to like focus on one and do it. But for the way I skilled from being a generalist is actually staying in one for a very long time to make sure that I have authority in that particular one. I can talk about it. Like the way I did UX research, like you have that authority in that particular one that not even though you're not actively doing it, any UX researcher that comes around or you are in gathering of UX researchers, you can't you nobody would say you're not a UX researcher and you'll be seen as a UX researcher from your work and your skills and the way you talk. So also UI design, niching down actually has to do with you. It's a personal thing. If you feel like you excel most in design, like in like getting your hands dirty, designing UIs, it's fine. You can balance, you can also you can get a gig that will require you to actually work on UX copies on your own. And sometimes you want to practice UX writing by trying to craft those write-ups for the projects you work on, and later on if you keep on doing that, you can sell that on your resume or anywhere that you're also a UX writer. I do UX writing sometimes. I do UX research. I'm niching down to growth design. Like I let me say I perfected my UI kind of thing, designing clean UIs from replicating design. I replicate a lot of designs. So for me to like know that I have authority in doing this, I need to like make sure that anywhere my design is, you won't see me as this person doesn't know what they're doing, or this person can't design clean UI, or this person is a designer. So it doesn't have to like be good in one. Take another one, be good in that particular one. So whatever is happening in the market, you won't complain that you're not getting gig because you're looking for only research gig, or you're not getting gig because you're looking for only US kind of gig. Yeah, you can do all of those things, and depending on the job you're applying to, you can have separate resumes for different skill sets, and you can have a holistic resume that has all of those things, depending on the description of the role you're trying to apply to, or the company that reached out to you for you to send your resume to them. So it's actually a personal thing that you have to like figure out on your own when you consistently practice and put yourself out there.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. So the key takeaway from it is practice till you're confident that I can do this. Then move on to the next thing. So don't stay
Yeah.
stuck in one place. Move on to the next thing. After a particular period of time, you then see the part that resonates better with you. Then you stick to that section. But it doesn't mean that you are not conversant in other areas. I mean, you can still give your input in other sections. But this is my major. This is my major. Okay.
Yeah,
So
also on
before we
Thank you,
that,
go to
Manuel. Thank you, Umi.
yeah,
if you want to have job security, you should be able to do a lot of things. If you are like having a
exactly.
9 to 5 kind of job, if you are the kind of person that only knows UI, when the company doesn't need UI design again, you're the first person they will kick out. But if you make yourself such that they can't do without you, and that's because you can do a lot of things. For company to feel like they can't do it without you, you have to be able to do a lot of things. So if you are the kind of person that can do a lot of things, you have job security. I'm not saying your job security is ideally your ability to be able to get another job, but your job security on the current job you are on is for you to have, not to be only, let me say, tailored to the thing you were hired for. You have other kind of skills that will help you scale among other persons in the same company you're working with.
Exactly. To just be versatile. Yeah, that's why you see UI designers learning a little bit about development. That's because they want to be able to contribute in development meetings. And one thing to keep your mark somewhere is by bringing value, right? So if you have a meeting and the value I got from you is enough, like it's a lot. My next meeting, I will call you for that meeting because your knowledge of the area we're talking about, you have enough knowledge about it. So it's just being valuable, and then not restricting yourself to one section. So learn UI, learn UX, learn research, learn writing. If you have the time, jump into 3D. If you have the time, do motion. Just have all this is under your belt. So that whenever you're called upon, yeah, whenever you're called upon, you can pick out any sword you like and fight the fight. That's about it. Until you then move into having your own product and then you're now stable. So that
Yeah,
works.
and it will help you in the long run when you decide to become probably a founder or something.
Exactly. Because now you know
Yeah,
everything.
yes, and I can tell you that I don't do brand design. I've tried it. I've like done branding for some products I worked on, but I don't do it. But a company has reached out to me before to hire me as a brand designer, and nowhere in my profile has brand designer. So just on your the way you yes, I was also shocked. They invited me for the interview for a brand designer role while they were trying to like hire somebody that does everything. So you know how to do all of those brand marketing stuffs, and you're also a product designer. Like they're trying to get somebody that would do everything. I don't know if you get me. So I did not accept that role.
Yeah, yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, I want us to fired. But so now speaking about the fact where in that case they might not know what they wanted. That still boils down to, as I
Did not.
said, exactly. That
It
still
was
boils
in
down
a
to
it
you.
was an international company. You guys
Can you
might know
imagine?
them. Yeah, I think they were trying to run away from hiring different talents. Um,
Okay, don't just use one person and run everything.
yes, I've forgotten their name. And you won't believe how the recruiter came into the interview. She was wearing a singlet. I was shocked.
Wahala.
I'm like, is this playing?
No, so same thing in your barrel, right? So you write UI UX designer, but then what do you do as UI UX designer? So
Yeah.
as probably I'm a startup founder, yeah, and I don't know what I need, but all I need, what all I know is I need somebody to convert my ideas into solution. That's all I know I need in a summary. So I don't know whether it's UI, I don't know if development, I don't know what. I have an idea, I want to put it out. If I stumble upon your bio now and I just see UI UX designer, I will just scroll past because I don't know what this is. I don't have the time to go and start searching on Google what it is. But if I see UI UX designer slash, or then you give a space and then you say, I work with startups to convert their ideas into solutions. Right? It's a brief summary of what you do basically. Now, that alone has really validated who you are, and then having an identity and a consistent update with a proof of work out there, portfolio, resume, or whatever, it validates you. So I am more likely to contact you to come solve my problem or to come convert my ideas into solution. So in
Yeah.
branding, in personal branding, your AVI is very important. That's your face. So you might want to go with an avatar, go with an image, go with a color, whatever. But then your AVI is very important, and you have to be consistent across all social media platforms. So I want to know, I want to go on this place and see this person and say, yes, this is Cynthia. Nobody will tell me nothing because I've seen her somewhere else. I want to come on here and then I say this is Fatima because I've been accustomed to this her avatar with that rod by the side. If you are going for
Spiral.
any Amazon war, I'm accustomed to that, but then that's who she is. So anywhere around, if I see that avatar, I know this is the person. I'll cite some examples. If you go on, if you check, you know Pixel Down. If you go on Twitter, if you have comment on Twitter, if you know Pixel Down, he's a designer at Meta. So you know it's his avatar. I mean his AVI, the guy with what's that thing on the head? That octopus like brain is something. Now that's him. If you check out Druids, is the one. If you check out Isel, they are the one. If you check out Fatima, that is her. Do you get? So that's just their AVI. Check out their bio also. They tell you what they do, or they give you proof that this is people they've worked with, or this is what they've done before. If you check their media, you don't get to see anything in their
Yeah,
media. You
yeah.
don't get to see anything. It has to be tailored to what they are doing. You don't post. You can have two accounts: your private account, your personal account, and your business account. Right? Personal account, do your thing there. Have your flex your life. Yeah. Post your memes, post your videos, post whatever it is you want. But your business account, yeah, just keep it strictly for business. I want to be able to come to your platform and know who you are without interacting with you. I want people to come to your social media platform, especially if you're a professional, and go to your media and see that, okay, this is who this person identifies, this is what they are into, this is what they've done before, this is who they are, and then convince me to give you a shout. But if I come and then I have to scroll about 30 swipes before I then see one design, I scroll 20 again and see, I'll say, no, 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 this one, I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
cruise.
And then I'll just keep on moving. You get, I just screw them, just keep on moving. So that is you being intentional about your growth, and that starts by how people perceive you out there. Because you won't hire yourself at first, so you need people out there to know that this is what I do, this is who I am, and then you do that by putting your work out there, constantly talking about things you do. Now you must not design a whole product before you post your work. I can design a whole product, right? And then that whole product will span about 3 months before I'm done posting important screens. Because I'll just take two screens and post today. Come next 2 days, take another two screen and post. Take one screen. I just take a snippet and just post out there. But then it's still letting you people know that, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm active, stuff like that. You don't need to design a whole app before you then start saying you want to post. In the same vein, it must not really be a picture, right? Now, I might be reading through a book, and there's a section that worked for me, like the section I read that made so much sense and clarified a lot of my doubts. I could just take out that section and post it out there, snippets from the factory UI by XYZ. And then I have helped someone clarify their doubt on anything. I might read like what we learned on research now, what we learned on UI, typography skill, what we learned on this research, user stories and the online surveys. Now I might go out there and probably just if I read extensively on what user stories are, I might just write a short text on learning about user stories helps in making sure the development team know why they are doing. Just write it and then just post it out there. Now you've educated someone who doesn't know nothing about user stories. And the person now has learned something from your profile. Now you've created value to that person. And if you keep on doing that, the person would like to always come to your profile to learn nuggets from you. Yes, Hannah. Yeah, yeah, Hannah, your hands are up. Was that a mistake? Okay.
Sorry, I've been talking since I was muted.
Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So my question is that for someone like me, I'm not a good storyteller. Like if I want to post my work, I don't really enjoy tagging people or maybe or I think there's this kind of belief that as a designer, if you want to show yourself to the world, you have to tag some certain people, you have to use some certain storyline, the catchy something something. But for someone like me, I'm not really good at that, and I don't really like to tag people in my stuff. Is this still making sense, or I just
No,
have
no, no,
to
yeah,
cover
yeah, no,
my
it
eyes?
makes a lot of sense. No, no, it makes a lot of sense. I, for one, also, I don't like the tagging stuff. Personally, I don't like tagging. It's like I'm seeking validation from them, right? That's what I see tagging as. You understand? That's what I see tagging as. But if probably I'm learning under someone, maybe I'm learning under someone, it's safe for me to tag the person. Tell the person give me consent. It's safe, totally safe. But one thing I want to
So
also
we can
cite
tag you.
about is yeah, of course. I don't have a problem with that. At least you have one like and one retweet from me. That's a given. My followers can follow suit, but my own is definite. So about posting your work, yeah, it's a game of numbers in real sense. It's algorithm, it's computers, so it's not human. You can go outside and you don't need to say I wear a blue shirt to let somebody out there know that you wear a blue shirt if you are in the human space, right? But now we are working with computers and it's a game of numbers. If you see, if I have more engagement, probably comments on other people's posts or likes on other people's posts, related posts, what what the system, whatever medium you are using, what they try to do is they then bring up those things you are liking, they then bring them to your notice. All those things you vibe with, they bring them to your face so you can continue scrolling, right? Same thing with your design. If you are if you are putting it out there regularly, for the first couple of posts, you might not get to the faces you want to get to. But if you are consistent, they then allocate it under a particular bracket, and then it starts getting to the people you want to get to. But one thing I know is that a neat work cannot be hidden. A good work, you cannot hide it. If you like post it on to go, somebody will
Yeah.
find
To go.
it.
Yeah.
If you
So
go and post it on to
for
go,
sharing
somebody will
your
find it.
work, on sharing your work, I'm just on Twitter and somebody actually did this audit we're talking about of Rema Nate, and that's how it started. And now he's employed there. Like he recreated it, check out the loopholes from the user experience and all of those things, and posted that and tagged them, the owners, like the products. Like maybe he worked on MetaMask, to
Exactly.
decide to recreate it and tag MetaMask. And designers that like there are some guys from the community. I can remember one very correctly. He worked on one wallet like that, and the submission was for it to post it on Twitter, tag the company that you worked on their product, and they hired the guy as a UX researcher. So
That's
the
just it.
the big
Your
the big
tagging
on
has to be
sharing.
intentional. Yeah, your tagging has to be intentional. Yeah, it has to be
Yeah,
intentional actually. Like what we did on that platform, MetaMask, we did on Kiosk, and we did on that the one that you guys were working on. Now, if you did an
yeah,
extensive job on it, you were able to spot problems and then you're able to prefer solution. Yeah. Now, if I put this out there, it's possible the companies they don't even know they see this problem. It's possible they are overlooking it. It's possible they don't even know how to solve it. Now, if I put this out there and then I let them know that I spotted this problem, this is my preferred solution to the problem, this is the solution, and this is the outcome. That is, I spot the problem, I solve it, I test it, right? And then this is the outcome. Now, you've gone end to end. I told you about our personal expectation from this. You should know how to do it end to end. Now, if you spot the problem, you solve it, you run rapid testing, probably two of your friends, and then this is the result, right? If I am a person there, if I'm a designer there, if I'm not selfish, of course, to just steal your idea and go and stay in front of the meeting and say, this is what it is, right? I will reach out to you. Can you come and share what you have with us? And then you are employed. You see that I didn't really tag heaven and earth. I just did a good work, a good, honest work, and I solved an actual
yeah,
problem
yeah,
and I put it out there. So that's pretty much it.
yeah. Yeah, please also make sure you're doing good work. Like that's like strive to be doing good work. Be doing good work. That's what keeps your reputation. Even whenever you don't like whenever anybody talks about you, people can vouch for you that you having extra social proof. You are doing good work. But if you are just there posting, but then at the end you're not actually putting in the work, you're not going extra mile, you're not doing the proper research, you're just going on the surface. And research is from where your own stops that somebody else own starts, so you
Continue.
should be able
That's
to
just
like
it.
do, yeah. So do your due diligence so that you scale faster when you're leveraging on all of those opportunities or sharing your work, all of those things, like sharing your work, posting your work. When you're leveraging on that, make sure you're doing good work so that you won't take long. Your growth will not have to be like, you have to reach like 10, 2 years, 3 years. Like from six
Before you
months, you
then
can
start
start
breaking in. Exactly. From
getting, yeah.
6 months, you
Like
want to be breaking into the system.
I have a student that is just 6 months old, and I say 6 months old. No, design wise, design wise, and people reach out to her. She shares her work. People reach out to her on Twitter to like ask her, like, I want to work on a contract. What's your rate? Or I want to hire you for something. This is it. This is it. And she reach out to me and be like, can I, or like looking for my opinion on all of those things. So if you share your work, make sure you're doing your due diligence so that people can find you and people can reach out to you and people can trust that you're doing it and you're doing a good job.
Exactly. And they don't be big on mock-ups. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
don't be big on mock-ups really, because like I've seen poor designs inside the mock-up that look beautiful. Now when you give them something to do, it's actually
They don't know how
not
to
too
do
great.
anything. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
So
wanted to mention
if
something about bio.
yeah, before you forget.
Yeah, so your bio is actually what differentiates you from another designer. I can say I'm a UX designer. We have all of us here are UX designers, but my bio is what would sell me to the recruiter before the recruiter want to actually check my profile or decides to reach out to me. Like there is it's level for recruiter to find me, for recruiter to actually look at me, for recruiter to actually see something that will interest them to come to me. So if my bio doesn't attract the recruiter, they will definitely not reach out to me. And no, not even reaching out to me. They won't get to the level of reaching out to me because they did not look at my profile. So when you are crafting your bio, like a lot of persons have different type of bio. Craft something that is unique to you and something that you know you can talk about very well and something that would differentiate you from every other designer. It's a
And
very
when
competitive
crafting,
market.
yeah, very competitive. Now when crafting your barrier, don't wrap your head over it. Now, just go out there and look at what people use on their bios. Just go out there, go on UX Folio or Best Folio. Just check out what people use as their summary. Now, when you
Yes,
look at all these things, you then have a sense of, okay, yeah, I can do this. This is a better way to say what I can do.
yes,
It's very smart. Now, you pick that, yeah. Now, keep it one side. Keep on looking again. Yeah, this is another better way to say what I can do. You pick it and drop it. Now, when you are done, you have a lot to piece together. Now you then make your own unique sentence, something that give off who you are, right? And then by merging what this person said with what this person said with what this person said, form your stuff and then craft your unique bio. In
yeah,
some bio you might see emojis, in some you might not see emojis. The emojis will let you know that I'm not too serious. I'm still fun to be with. That's what emoji entails, yeah. So you can write all your stuff and then put your own personal touch, and then that's your bio. If you have link to your external work, a resume or something, or work you've done, your Behance, you put your link on your Behance there, so that when they are done seeing what you do, they've not seen what you claim to do. No, they see who you are, they see what you claim to do. They can now click on your link to go and see what you've done, and to now convince them to.
I can give you an example of that actually. I can give you an example of that.
So
My bio from last year is articulating product ideas for businesses and products. Or is it? I know there is businesses and hence startups for businesses and startups. So because of that bio, I had founders, startup owners, and businesses reaching out to me just because from the bio. So if you craft your bio, you are also somehow targeting talking to the person, the kind of person you want to work with. Do you want to work with a startup? Do you want to work with an individual? All of those things. Yeah, I'm just telling you from my own
exactly.
personal experience.
Yeah, especially the best teacher. Of course, we cannot make the same mistake someone else made else. We are not really learning. You get. So as also what you use to let there are many ways to go about it, but we can't actually exhaust everything on one call, considering the fact that we also want to dive into what we have for today, reviewing UIs. Yeah? But at the same time, if you have any if you have anything you learned, let's share it out there. Value brings reward. That's just the thing. Just be valuable. So if I say I learned about typography skill, I know what typography skill is, right? And I probably write a small article on how to leverage typography skill in your UI designs. And I put it out there. Now, a word is what more than the strongest sword, right? That's the way they put it in English. But you get me. Point is, now you don't know where that thing will go to. You might have helped 1,000 junior designers or 1,000 probably 1,000 people that never knew anything about typography skill, but but now your article has helped them. Now it must not only be an article, right? Now as I'm learning, as we are talking now, and what we've spoken about, you understand it. Now 10,000 people out there don't know about this personal branding. Now if you shoot out a post on your probably your WhatsApp status or anywhere at all, your hash note anywhere at all, just shoot out a post on how to personally brand yourself, tips on branding yourself, this. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just send out the main things. You've helped people, and then that alone will give you confidence because you know what you're saying, and it's not the fact that you know what you're saying. You've shared it with people, and it has worked for them. I think I saw a question, but not everyone is good at writing articles. Yeah, yeah. So you really don't need to write. You didn't need to write articles per se. It's a good thing to learn storytelling because it helps to pass your message across. But you must not learn how to. You must not know how to write articles before you. I mean, you must not know how to write articles before you share what you have. And if you are really
Yeah.
good on sharing, then you would want to learn a couple of things in writing articles, just so you can share your work. So that I think that's pretty much it about personal branding from my end personally. Work on your AVI, let it be constant across board, right? Work on your bio, attach a link to your work out there. Be consistent in posting your work. Don't do it for the engagement. You don't have to write long talks. Just give context. If it's an onboarding screen for XYZ. If it's an agricultural dashboard, write it there and then put it out there. You need to tag everyone on it. Tag people that are relevant to the stuff. Using hashtag also is a very important thing. As I said, it's a game of numbers. Hashtag help to bring your stuff. They have to categorize your design or your post under sections. But there are people that search with hashtags. Well, hashtag is mostly used on Instagram because they leverage the search functionality over the home feed. So when you search if you go on Instagram and you search for design, everything you see must have an hashtag design in it. They would not come and start showing you Bayelsa State flood if on when you search for design. They will not show you.
What if I
They will
put
not
I put that flood in my hashtag as my hashtag? They will definitely see it.
exactly. Except you put design as your
Leverage on hashtag more than actually tagging people. Hashtag
exactly. Hashtag
is
does the trick
enough.
more than tagging
Yes.
people.
Yeah. Somebody
Because
was
if I'm
asking about
searching,
yeah.
yeah, it should.
Yeah, somebody was saying you're not good at writing articles or something. Like you don't have to be good at something before you do it. If you learn something, writing about you can. Like if you learn something and teach somebody, like you learn once, you taught one person, you taught, or let me say you learn once, you taught like 5%. That means you've actually learned that thing like 5 times. If you write, whether it's particular to me, but whenever I write about anything I read or I worked on or I watched a YouTube video, anything, it's babe, you don't want to scale or what?
No, I mean now the thing is the writing is not really
It's
it's not really
not
compulsory.
compulsory.
You get
It
it's not really compulsory.
Yeah, it's not compulsory. It's something you can do to actually make yourself skill. When I did writing, when I said writing, I just did it for a way to actually help some the same shoe as me that are trying to learn. So if I read refactoring review, I wrote everything I learned about
to 4 articles from just reading refactoring UI. So it's not about sitting, you're not writing it in one sitting. Like as you're reading, you got an idea or you understood something, you write it down somewhere. You won't forget that thing you just wrote down. That's how my brain works. If I should write down anything, I won't forget that thing. And if I should forget it, the moment anybody talks about it, it will start coming. Or the moment I see anything around that thing, to start coming. So we are all different. But don't
Yeah,
limit yourself by saying you can't write, or you don't know how to write, or you don't know storytelling. All of those things are processes. They don't happen at once. It's a process. You have to start from somewhere before then it keeps accumulating before you actually see yourself that you have authority in this thing, you can do this thing very well. All of the articles I've written before now are the articles I wrote when I was still learning design. I didn't post them those days. I post them later. I'm a late poster.
it's like that now because you start questioning yourself. Am I sure I'm dishing out the right information? Am I sure this information I'm sending out, I'm not misleading people?
Some of the
You start.
UIs I share on Instagrams are UIs that I've worked on like for a while. Like I've forgotten I had them. Then I'll now like look for what should I even post? I'll go and look for old UI. So and my skill is above that UI already, and I still posted it. So I know myself and I know the people that are trying to reach out to me. And somebody was asking about LinkedIn. If you're active on LinkedIn, LinkedIn is the easiest platform to engage in and also to get work from. That's coming from me. Everybody is different. On LinkedIn, request for interviews and all of those things. I have those. So if but it has to be you have to position yourself for that. Your profile has to be well positioned such that somebody will look at your profile and decide to reach out to you on LinkedIn. And you have to like showcase that you have authority in that space. For instance, you are collaborating with other designers and you posted something around it. You share your work frequently, even though it's not frequent. It doesn't have to be frequent, but you share your work. You have a lot of recruiters reaching out to you. How far?
And for LinkedIn, yeah, for LinkedIn, it's optimizing your LinkedIn profile is something I will have to probably talk about another day, but I'll just drop probably a couple of things you should want to. It's the same thing as personal branding across board.
Yes,
Your,
yes. It's just the
your
same
AVI,
thing.
exactly the same thing. Your AVI need to stand out. I see people charging a lot of money to teach you how to optimize your LinkedIn, but in real sense, it's the same thing as personal. Once you know personal branding, just apply it also on LinkedIn. Your AVI need to
The
stand
same
out.
thing. Yeah. LinkedIn is actually the simplest for me. Instagram is the hardest. Then Twitter.
There are a lot of Instagram is a den now. Instagram is a long hole.
Yes. So if you share like you post content or you share your work or you collaborate with people, you post it on LinkedIn, you would easily see people reaching out to you to request for your service. And that's coming from me like personally. The brand gig I talk about was from LinkedIn, and I've got international companies reaching out to me to work. I've even got someone reaching out to me to come and do ordinary pitch deck presentation slides. So it's just you positioning yourself.
And also, if you want to optimize your LinkedIn, also people that you follow matters, people that you connect with matters. If I know I
Okay.
want to, if the thing is all about intentionality. How intentional about are you about your growth? Yeah. So talking about optimization for LinkedIn, your cover image has to clearly say what you do. There's no two ways about it. Your cover image has to say what you do in some way. Your API has to be a professional shot to show that you are professional in nature because of the whole atmosphere around LinkedIn, all professional, right? Your bio, as we said, has to say what you do.
Yes.
So if you are big on startup, highlight it there that you help startups achieve their goals, and just put a couple of terms that resonate with startups.
Anything that anybody wants, a keyword that you think somebody will search for
You
and you
search
want
for
to pop
exactly
up, you want your name to be the first person or you want your name to be among the names that will come up. If you're actually doing that, then you can put it as your bio. But don't
that.
make your bio messy because you want to catch every
Be
client.
everywhere. Exactly. That's the sweet spot. Find something
Yes,
that
yes.
it's
Or
what you
following
do.
people. Yes. Continue, don't worry, I won't forget.
Yeah, okay. Then also on when you now go to your experience part, yeah. Now what you are doing right now, whatever it is you are doing here, you might give it a term yourself. It might not be the term I term it that you term it, but it's an experience because you've passed through a process. You did not do it 2 days. You actually spent months. You went through a structured learning part. You learned a couple of things together, and alongside you have a project to showcase for it, right? So now that's an experience. You don't need to be paid for your experience first off. You don't need to get a contract letter for you to terminate an experience, right? If you engage in zero internship, now that's an experience. If you engage in HNG, that's an experience. If you engage in Web3 mentorship cohort, that's an experience. Now you already have 3 experiences, about 6 months or 7 months design experience. Now you list them out, right? You list what you learned under each experience, just just like that. And then when you are talking about the dates, now there's something I learned recently. When you are working on your dates, so say you did this January to August. Within that January to August, you are still doing something February to September. Yeah. Now, the moment you put the first one, January to August. The second one, February to September. Now you are true. You are saying the truth. But the impression you will give off is that you cannot do one thing. You are jumping here and here and here. So if I employ you, is that what you want to do for me? I was speaking with my friend working at Cohort, United Kingdom, and he was telling me on what his manager was talking about when they were recruiting for a position when he was scrolling through LinkedIn. And he highlighted that fact, the fact that when your experience, there's I can't form a story from your experience. Like I can't form a story from your experience. So more often than not, the way it should be is as you're ending this, you are starting this. As you're ending this, you are starting this. Then I can form a growth pattern from your experience alone. So I've already made a picture in my head on how you learned. You move from this internship and then you got this job and then you move and then you're now here and then you're now here. So not like I'm seeing January to March. In between January to March, I'm seeing another one February to March. That means what then were you doing in all of that? So then also for searching, if I'm a designer, people that I want to sync with, right, are my fellow designers, developers, recruiters, and founders. Now, I don't have any business with affiliate marketers. I don't have any business with realtors. Those are not what I want to see because whatever I consume actually has a way of influencing my mind as a human. So I will want to search for product designers, right? And then connect with a couple, connect with them. Sometimes I will send a personalized connection request just to know that I'm a human and then I'm just trying to connect with you. Just connect with them. Search for developers, do
Mr.
the same thing. Now you have your aim, right? Like you have your purpose. The purpose is not just to connect with them because you feel like, but because the moment you start shipping out your work, the moment you start sending out your work, posting your work, you want a certain level of people to see it. That's where your intentionality comes into play. If I'm posting my work now, I have out of my probably 1,800 followers at the moment, about 600 are designers, about 400 developers, 700 founders and recruiters. Now, then other miscellaneous may not be like say no wahala. But now we know ourselves. So when I put my work out there, the people that is going to, right? The people that is going to is developers are seeing it, recruiters are seeing it, founders are seeing it, my fellow designers are seeing it. Now, in that case now, if peradventure I post the work today, and then luckily for me, by God's grace, a developer in his company they were recruiting for a front end, I mean a designer who is and what they're working on is maybe a real estate platform, and I posted a real estate platform, and it gets to him. Now he can maybe just reach out to me if God touches his heart, and probably we formed a connection, probably a personal relationship with each other. oh, my company is doing this, we'd like to give it a shot. Now I've gotten that. Even if he doesn't reach out, he has seen it, it has registered in his mind. Next tomorrow again, he sees it again. Okay, Emmanuel, yeah, I know Emmanuel. Next week again, oh yeah, Emmanuel, it's this man, let me like it. Oh yeah, this Emmanuel. So we know ourselves, it's really getting there. But in a case where I follow realtors, I follow air hostesses, I follow affiliate marketers, they don't have anything to benefit except I am those things. But they have no benefit to me. So it's just me following for following sake. That's optimization, and that's all I will talk about for LinkedIn as of today. Maybe another time we'll speak about it.
Yeah, can we do today's work? This
Yeah,
talk will
yeah,
never
yeah.
end.
I saw the guy. So for today,
Others
yeah,
are coming
let's
up.
so let us jump into today's one. So we have about 5 responses on people that want us to review their work. So let's see what we can take, and then the next review, if we cannot take all of it, we'll just leave a comment on your Figma boards, and then if you don't still understand, we can have a conversation in the comment field, but we might not have another session to handle UI reviews. So the first person here is Yinka Babalola. I don't know if she's here. Yes, yes, yes. Yinka Babalola, yes. So share your screen. You saw the criteria for requesting. So share your screen and then let us know the one that you want us to speak on. Yes,
Right.
yes. I think
I'm
yeah.
trying to
I'm
do
with you.
that.
Sorry.
I said I'm trying to do that.
Okay, okay, that's fine.
Okay, can you see my screen?
No, not yet.
Okay. Right with this. Okay. What about
What the feedback you're getting?
there was an error?
An error.
Yeah.
What error is that? Yeah, how do they put English?
Let me try again. Okay, it said sorry, an error has occurred when screen sharing.
Okay, you might have to probably, if you're using Chrome, quit your Chrome, then rejoin, and then try it again.
Sorry?
I say if you're using Chrome, yeah, so you might have to quit your Chrome, then rejoin and try again.
Oh, okay. I'm going to do that.
Okay. So while at it, I'll just Adeola Adebuke. Sorry for if I don't pronounce it properly. Adeola, are you here?
Okay, I joined back. Let me try again.
Hmm.
Oh, same thing.
Same thing.
Hmm. Can I
Okay.
just drop my Figma link?
Yeah, no, I have access to Figma link here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I actually wanted you to share, and then there are two things we want to get from you sharing your screen. But that's fine. I'll just share it here. So
Okay.
no, no, I will not share it. Wait first. Um,
Mm,
yeah, yeah, just hold on.
okay.
Adeola, are you here? Adeola is not here. Okay, Margaret, are you here?
Yes, I'm available.
Yes. Okay. So yeah. So share your screen and let's see the design you have in mind. So also, I would like to highlight the fact that Figma is a cloud-based software in the sense that if you submit a link, it's not a one-time submission. You can always modify it on Figma, right? You can access it anywhere. It must not actually be your home laptop. You can access it anywhere. So maybe before, if you are not done designing, but then you are approaching deadline period, yeah, it's safe to sign. It is safe to submit, just so you are inside the room. But if I beat your design and then pass it, any other thing you see, any other change you make, I would not know because I'm done. So if you want to know if I have gotten to your design, myself or Umi, you can just click on the share button at the top. You will see people that have been on that design file. So if you see my name or if you see her name, then you know we have come and gone and the heavily train has passed. Then you can decide to join the bus later on.
What's that?
Well, yeah, please go to your Figma file. Let's see that.
Okay. Yeah, y'all can see my screen, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
Okay. So I don't know how to go about this. This is the
Yes,
dribble shot.
okay.
This is the dribble shot, and this is the recreation. And I got most of the images by doing a Google search using the image icon. So I cropped out most of the images and then uploaded it on Google to get the images, which was somewhat easy at first.
Hey, can you run me through how you do that? I don't know how to do that. That was smart
Okay.
actually.
Um, I'm just going to type something random, then click on this image as the upload file. Let me pick this one because I've deleted most of the images. So you can, and then it shows you a visual match. So this is on free pick. You can open the link and get the image, or if you don't see it here, you do find image source, and it gives you other options that are quite similar to what you're looking for.
Nice, nice. Now I don't know
Yeah,
about
yeah.
this. Yeah, and I don't
That's
know
so
about this.
smart.
About 190 people, rather 190,000 people don't know about this. Now imagine you record this session. Imagine you record a snippet of this, of you doing this. Now, don't you think you have created value or you've helped me, who you do not know, actually perform this task?
Yeah,
But
true.
then to you now, it looks normal, right? Because all the time I just shared that command D is duplicate in Figma shortcut, and the reaction I got was giving me the impression that people don't really know it. But to me, it's like I mean, who doesn't know it? So this stuff is actually very fantastic. Yeah, but carry on though. I'm sure everybody here also already learned about that because except I'm the Olodo here, but it's a nice one.
I'm also a Lodo.
We gotta be. Well, yeah, carry on.
Okay, should I move on to the next one
No, no,
or
no, no, no. Zoom in in this your screen. Umi, do you have anything on this screen?
Yeah, keep it side by side, like keep it by the side of the dribble shot. Then zoom in. What about the icons? How did you get the icons? Are the
um
icons the same?
well, I have an icon pack, and I realized that the icons were similar to what was on the dribble shot. So I modified some of them. Like this particular one, I had to draw it out because I didn't have it. But I had this, and this already. So those were just I just copied it into the board. I only had to draw out the home page.
Okay. Let me.
Icon.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, that was nice actually.
Um,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's fine.
what else? So okay, I recently learned about the whole mirror, doing this.
Glass.
Yes, yeah, thank you. The glass thing. I tried different steps. I watched some YouTube videos in order to get it. And once I got one, the others were easy to do.
As it should be. I think we've talked about how to handle glass morphism in one of our
Yeah,
workshops.
yes. I watched the video again to get it
Okay.
because I had kind of forgotten, having not
Yeah,
practiced it immediately.
yeah, that's it. That's right. So in this design, yeah, did you do anything like extra thought, like why, like what can be modified in this particular design?
What
I'm not
can be
expecting you to do it, but did you do anything
um
like that?
no, I didn't change anything, but like this image now, I didn't like that the head was kind of cut out. I wanted to bring it down, but I said, let's do the exact thing that is there.
Okay,
Um,
okay. Then I think there should be a placeholder here, letting you know that you can search for. I think that's the essence
yes,
of this, right?
and yes, it seemed like a
It's
search
at the
bar,
Yeah.
but there
bottom.
was no icon for it there, and it was kind of faint. I didn't really notice it till I looked closely, since it's
Okay,
kind of disappearing in the background.
okay, okay. So what will mean to your atoms page?
Atoms.
Yeah. So the image by the left, yeah, these two images. So how do you come about it? This image, yeah?
Oh, so I learned something from my friend that codes on getting images from the website. So I have forgotten the shortcut, but I right click and wait for this now. When I right click, there's an inspect button. So it brings up the code for the site, and this arrow button, you can get the sources of the image. So it's not all sites that give you the images, but for the Atoms website, on their source image, under images, there was a point where you could extract all the images that were on the website.
Hmm.
So that's how I got out that one.
Okay,
Damn.
that's that's another new one.
Crash course.
That's another new one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
Yeah,
So
but overall, though, I think this is decent. I haven't gone through your design overall, but the fact that you could get this the way that you're getting it, and then using the right proportion, I think is commendable. So that works.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Then on your dashboard, just so before we move on to the next person, I don't want to spoil. Okay, but
the
let me
NFC
keep this
dashboard.
question. No, don't worry, skip it. I'll keep the dashboard for the next person.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right.
Nice one.
Yeah, nice work,
Thank you.
Margaret.
Yeah,
Thank
as you are
you.
going, so peradventure I make something that I need to drop a comment on. I'll drop the comment on it. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
All right, that's fine. Um, Adesewa, Adesewa, are you here? Adesewa, yeah? Okay, okay. Yinka, Yinka,
Yes.
are you here?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so please,
Should I
over
try
to
again?
you. Yes, yes, try again.
Okay. I'm still getting the same
Same
thing.
thing.
Okay, so I've been thinking maybe I should just use another Chrome account or another Gmail account.
Have you
So
tried another browser?
Yeah.
no, I've not.
Yeah, try copy
Browser.
this copy this meeting link. Try on that browser. Let's see.
Okay.
Yeah. So Margaret has done hers. Hannah, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Yes. So please carry on. to share your
There is
screen
a
and
Messi
then
here that is at the market. I'm playing, but can she mute?
I think is she the one that ought to share her screen right now, isn't she?
Oh, I thought it's Hannah, and I thought her name was Hannah here. Sorry. Please go ahead.
Yeah, we are waiting. The Margaret, somebody's asking on what icon pack you use.
I can't remember. I don't know the name. It was from another internship, so the mentor brought it in. So I'm not sure where exactly it got from.
Okay,
Well, you
okay.
can search. You can search the Figma community. There are a bunch of them there.
Yeah, yeah. There's Remix, there's ViewSax, there's Iconify, there's Matra Icon, there's Iconly. But most importantly, what I highlighted, if you're using an icon, look for one that an icon pack. Look for one that does majority of what you want to achieve because you don't want to be using two different icon sets for a design. There will be this inconsistency in your icons, and overall it will give your design an inconsistent feel. So if you want to use one icon, look for a pack that has what you need. But Margaret, if you can get the link to the icon pack you used, alternatively, you can copy that icon pack, drop it on a different Figma file, and then share the Figma file on the channel, so that anybody can duplicate and then use if that works for you. You get that?
All right, no problem.
Cool. Yes. So Hannah, yes, one for me.
Yeah.
I think I was in your Figma file just now. Okay. So I am there's something I'm checking for. Mentors landing page. Yeah. So this you've not done something yet, right?
No,
But
no,
this is
no, no.
Now and the one you created.
Sorry?
Like keep the one you recreated and the original one side by side.
side by side. Yeah.
Oh. This is the original, yeah. Is it?
Okay. So this how do you come about this shape?
This shape. I drew a rectangle. Yeah, a rectangle. Then I think wait, the radius. Yeah, radius like
The what?
I said I drew a rectangle. Then okay. Yeah, it was a rectangle. Then I changed like the different shapes of it. Let me just do it here. I don't know how to explain it.
No. It's not about you doing. Yeah. I'm more about you explaining how you got about it than actually how
Yeah,
you doing. Okay.
expressing that because you need to like also be able to express your design, what informed your design, and all of those things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I drew a rectangle. Then I gave it different radius sizes, like the
Corner,
both
yeah.
sides.
Corner radius. Yeah. The term is that
Yeah,
set is corner
corner.
radius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think everybody understands that.
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah, I'm looking at the typeface with that of the one she replicated.
Oh,
yeah,
Was it intentional that you changed it to this particular one?
yeah. I actually used the font I like using. Sorry,
Hmm? You said?
I used I used the font I like using. Sorry, background.
popping, isn't it?
About the color effects on the font.
Oh, it's the same color with the one I replicated.
Yeah, but
Gradient.
the linear gradient, as you can see, it is more prominent in the original copy than in your copy. Can you see
Yes,
that?
yes.
And also in terms of size, I know we've spoken about hierarchy. Yeah. Now this will help people connect with their right mentors. It's your hero text. So it has to be your H1. It has to be your biggest, right? And we talked about typography scale. Now I can see what you've done on your side, on your typography styles. That's fantastic stuff. But if I want to go deep into it, if I want to really break it down, you not really do exactly what you were taught. Considering the fact that we worked about a typography scale sticking to the 8-point grid. Yeah. Now in your heading 2, I am seeing your heading 2 bold. I'm seeing 23 pixels. Now I don't know whether I did not go to school or whether my math teacher is wrong, but 23 cannot divide it and give me what it should give me. So apparently 23 is off, right? Now, if you go to header 1, we spoke about typography scale for mobile and for web. Now for web, 40, this your display one, when I detach to it, is 41 pixels. Now I can't use 41 pixels for my hero image and my hero text. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
So from hero text, you should be tending probably from 56, explore from 56 upward. But also it depends on your typeface. But with your current typeface, 48 doesn't really cut it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So if you look at what was done and look at what you did, you came close. What the attention you did not pay was in terms of hierarchy, right? In terms of hierarchy. So that's for that one. Let's check out the
I like the glass. Like it's
last one
nice.
fitting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it actually, although I'd have liked if it was a little bit whiter than darker in terms of the linear. I like it
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
bit
Just
whiter
like the shiny effect it has on
on
the
the left hand
UI at
side.
the bottom. Yeah.
Okay, so let's go to the crypto thingy. So yeah, what could meet your crypto charts?
Sorry?
Yeah, so over here, how do you come about this
I drew it with a pencil.
pencil? Yeah.
With the pencil to rather. Yeah. I'm
That's
not
Okay.
very
nice.
perfect with it yet. So I just
Yeah, then over here, Bitcoin and BTC. I'm clicking on this, and even though it looks visually balanced, but clicking on your Bitcoin, you can see that you have a lot of line height. I don't know if everyone can
yeah,
see it.
it's moved.
So you can see your line height is it's not
Yeah.
the fact that it moved. I think it's more of your style because from the side, it's body 14 pixels I use there. So I don't know how you went about it, but this would affect your overall spacing. But now it's too far from ETH. You understand? Now in terms of design replication, now if you look at your desktop, now there's a subtle gradient over here, like a purple thingy. Can you see the original one? This
On the
purple or
background.
pinkish. Yeah, it's a something here.
Yes, kind of.
Right?
But I could not get it. Yes, I saw it. I could not get it.
Okay, so you can, but you tried getting something here with normal. Oh, is it an image? No, that's
Yes, it's
actually,
an image.
yeah, that's actually a linear gradient. So the same thing you did for that first one where you were trying to use the for that mentorship landing page. So it's just the same thing, but then your gradient will just be between year and year. So all year will not be affected basically. Okay, Then to your music dashboard.
Oh,
Yeah, to your music dashboard. What we're trying to achieve here, and how did you come
the
about this?
wave, the wave. I actually got it from the community. The component.
I don't get how you got it from the community. Explain to.
Like I went to Figma community and I just typed sound wave and this came out. So I just used it.
Okay, so you copied and pasted, isn't it?
Yeah, I had to edit. I did some little editing to it then.
But you copied and paste now, right?
Yes, yes.
So how would you create this if you are to create this? What do you think was used in creating this?
Rectangles actually.
Okay, but it was too
Rectangle.
difficult to do now, yeah?
Yeah, it was long and yeah,
Yeah,
rectangles.
okay, I know we spoke about reusable components, and when I mean component, I don't mean you making it a component per se. But I could draw a rectangle like this, yeah. I could duplicate it into four and decide to um if I group them, if I duplicate them now, it's already becoming longer. Command D just makes it longer for me. Then I can now start changing the sizes among them to get the wave I want. Do you get?
Yeah.
This one should actually be your last line.
No,
If
sir, please
it's
repeat what you just did.
so these are all rectangles. This now is a rectangle. There's a space, a smaller rectangle. So if I draw my rectangle normally, let's say we give it a let's work with four maybe, and then we give the corner increase the corner radius. So if I duplicate this and then I reduce it a little, center align them. I do the same thing for the third one, center align them. Now as you can see, I've created a wave here, right? I've started. Now if I group it, Command G, I can now keep on moving. Now I'm creating everything I need. Then I can now come inside and then start increasing them or reducing them the way I like them to be. So I've created that wave without having to do this. Because now, if you look into what you've done here, do you think it passes if I'm to mark this?
No.
Okay. But this would have given you more flexibility compared to this. You get that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, is there anyone you'd like to highlight again? Let me see your dashboard. I hope everyone, while we're designing, we're all actually learning one or two things in this honing your UI skill. But the purpose is while you're at it, you are visually learning how to position things, how to break things into layouts as you go. There's one more that I want to see. There is the NFT, not NFT. Yeah. Okay, so you said you did this using your the pen tool, yeah?
Which one was that?
No,
The
this
crypto?
no the fair bank, the free bank. I think it's free bank I call it.
Yes, 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 yes.
Okay, now place the original one beside. Let me see. So now looking into the original one and what and your design. Now look at this. Look at the bottom here. Yeah, are you
Oh,
seeing that
okay.
there's a difference?
Yes, it was the construct checker I used. That was what changed.
The contrast checker you use what?
Yeah, it kind of changed it, so I forgot to like put it back to the former color.
But this one your developer will develop though. So you forgetting this is what you see in your final product. You get that.
Yeah.
I will say this exactly picture perfect though. You know that, yeah?
Yeah, I know.
But then it's decent stuff. Then I can see that your body is 14 pixels, right? You might use 14 pixels for your body text.
So it's looking too large when I used them 16.
Sorry, come again.
When I used 16 pixels, it was looking too large, so I reduced it to 4.
Okay. Do you have the Figma mirror with you?
Yes.
You test. How do you know it's looking too large? You tested in your Figma mirror,
Oh
or you,
no, not my
you just
Figma
looked
mirror.
at it?
When I played it when I played it, prototype. Oh,
Okay. So next time, yeah,
yeah.
if one decides something is looking too large or not, test it your Figma mirror first. I know that when designing, there are some part, even though it's a body text, there are some times that you need to de-emphasize using size. But that should not be your first line of action. Considering the fact that the people using this, we talked about accessibility almost every time. Now, if your font is too small, if the font you use there is too small, right? I will not be able to read it. And if I can't read it, I won't understand it, so I'll just pass. Meaning, I have lost out on an important message that I'm trying to pass there. So explore with 16 pixels for this. It's fine to actually stretch it out. So are you saying this is actually looking too small? I mean too big?
Yeah, though that was when I played it on the prototype, not on the canvas. Yeah.
Okay, okay. But yeah, so I'll still go through this. Everybody, you have from now to probably to this night when we start marking in real sense. So I'll still go through this again. Now talking about presentation, yeah. So about presentation. Now, how do you? Because if I want to, if you show this out there, if you want to post your work, I've been saying post your work, post your work. Now, if you want to post your work, you can't go and post one screen. I mean, just post this, export it like this, and post it out there. But in as much as you have designed cleanly, you also need to showcase cleanly because there's something called perceived cleanness, right? We learned about it during our laws of UX. So I've had people reach out to me just because they like how it was presented. They don't want to know whether it's you are solving the next big thing, but they like how you presented it. And then I've had to reach out to me on that case. So if you are presenting your UI, probably we'll speak intensively about it sometime. But the way to do it is to use mockups, right? There are mockups out there that you can use. Probably before this class ends, I'll just show you guys one mockup plugin that we can use to present your work cleanly, or so that we can achieve what we want to achieve. I'll just move to the next person. Except Umi, you have something to highlight for. You have a question to ask her, basically.
Oh no, you didn't check the chat. I just came back. I stepped away for a bit.
Okay. No, I didn't. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I'm on your money heist, and your images are not high quality. They look like they are pixelated. Imagery, you can take your design from 0 to 100. I won't say zero because your design is never zero, right? But then imagery can bump up your design from whatever it is to where you want it to be. So you should pay attention to the kind of images you use. Now, this big header, right? So everybody also, whatever you're designing, don't don't be nonchalant about images because the image you use can change the entire look and feel of your design.
Even the
Now,
message.
exactly. Now, this is a pixelated image. I know you are restricted with you are limited to where you can get these images from, but I believe that there's somewhere that you can get this same image or a related image, but in high quality. So as you're going, also use proper imagery. Now let's talk about your bottom nav. You see your bottom nav is actually sitting on the at the bottom of this frame. Like there's no space from the bottom up. Can you see that?
Yes.
So well, what this would mean is that that's why it's good to use your Figma mirror, right? Now what this would mean is that this section would enter. You know your devices. There has to be something underneath, whether Android or iPhone. There has to be something under here. You know that. Now what this means is that your bottom nav will be sitting right on top of it. And if peradventure the device itself forces your design to adapt, this is how your design will be eventually because there has to be space under here for that stuff. So if you are designing your bottom nav, work from 64 pixels 64 pixels of your rectangle should be 64 in height and then work upward. I think we've spoken about how to design bottom map at some point. But I will share something I came across on standard sizes for all these things because they all have standard sizes. So it's good you're acquainted with standard sizes for mobile and for Android and for iOS. As we also highlighted, the standard size for the margin is 16 pixels, right? But if I want to go by yours, I can't even see. Did you lock something? I can't see your margin. What margin are you using here? Check this your
16.
latest. The latest is 16.
Yeah.
This also is 16. That's the fact that you use grid is enough. Is enough proof that that works. So that's fine. That's fine. Someone was asking what is Figma Mirror. Yeah, so Figma Mirror is a tool. It's an application on your app stores, Android Play Store or Apple Store. Yeah. So what it does is it helps you preview your designs live. So all you need to do is install the application on your phone, sign into the same account that you are logged in on your device on your laptop. Now the moment you click on one frame, it will show you mirror on your mobile. So clicking on mirror, you then get to see how it will look like on your phone. Now the essence of the Figma mirror is not to just make you see how it will look like, but you can also use it in testing. You know what we highlighted about touch areas, right? If I make a button too small, is it accessible? If I put my button at the top here, to me now it might be perfectly placed, but the moment I use my Figma mirror and I see that it's difficult for my hand to reach that location, that means that's a potential problem. So I then drop the button downwards to my arm reach. If I'm clicking on something and then it's not tapping, meaning that thing is not big enough, but you won't know all these things except you preview it in a device that is handy. Using the prototype is another way, but the disadvantage of using the prototype for a mobile design, when I mean prototype, I mean your laptop, you click on prototype and then you click on play and then you save. Now the disadvantage is that you are constrained to using the mouse, so you will know exactly where to click. But the moment you're on your phone, it's based on vibes. You just move your hand and see if the way you do normal stuff, the way you click the back button on WhatsApp and it just moves back without you even thinking whether you clicked on the arrow exactly or your feet around that place. It's the same thing you do on your Figma mirror. So it helps improving your designs on your Figma mirror. Okay, okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. That's fine, Hannah. That's fine. Overall, decent stuff. Overall, I like the fact that you're able to closely get what was developed and what was designed generally. It's decent stuff. I in particular, I like the mentorship board. I'm yet to I'm yet to go deep into it, but from external view, I think I like that one. So that's decent stuff. Thank you very much. Nice one. So I'll show you guys how to um I'll show you guys how to present so that you can probably if you decide to then share your work, you can by all means go for it. Well, before you go, right, just walk with me to your fintech. Yeah, are you there?
Yes.
Your savings. What can you see in your savings? Your saving bottom now.
Where?
Right, yeah, right here. What can you tell me about this?
Oh, there are two different icons actually.
Hmm. About your home. What can you tell me about your home and it being different from this home?
How did that happen?
Ah,
I didn't know. I
that's it.
actually did this today. I didn't know.
And then this your
I,
savings also. This your peak is there for
you
this
know,
peak. Why are they?
yeah, that's what I said. I did this design today, so I was trying to like meet up. I didn't know how that happened. Oh, wow.
Interesting. Okay. 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 But yeah, if you are working with components, yeah, so this should not occur if you are actually working with components because whatever
I
you
am,
use
but
here is what
yes.
are
The
you?
thing is, I didn't get a line for. I think the savings I used there, so I didn't get a line icon for it. I don't know how the home happened, but I'm aware of the savings. The home, I didn't know about, but the savings, I'm aware. So I just used any icon I saw.
Okay, okay.
But the
So sometimes, yeah, in this case, it might not work all the time. But what I do is, if I need to show accessibility by not relying only on colors to show change of states, like what you're trying to do here, or rather, I think let me not say what you were trying to do because it's what the person did. Well, yeah, that's the sense of overall. But yeah, what the person was trying to do is not to rely only on colors to show change of state, in the sense that your home will give you an outline, but when it's selected, it will be a fill. Your savings should be an outline, but when it's selected, it will be a fill. So in a case where I do not have icon pack that has outline and fill, what I do is I improvise. I don't change I don't change the size.
Are you there?
yes, I am.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. So what I do basically is I I double tap on this and enter into the edit mode, right? Into the vector mode. Now, I first give it a stroke, so everybody will have their stroke. Then I come to this paint bucket. And if I click on paint bucket, what happens is that you can remove or you can add. So in this case, if I remove this, now I have my outline. So I can then use the outline. Do you understand? But now it all depends on the icon you're using because it doesn't happen in all. I noticed it doesn't happen in all. I might want to do it for this guy, but he might not allow me to do it for him because maybe it's not
Depends
it's not
on
it's not the way. Yeah, but
depend on the icon
icon pack and also your flexibility and your use of pencil too. Sometimes
Exactly.
you won't find the icon you're looking for in the pack you are already using. So you need to create it. So if you are able to create the icon using the style and everything about the icon pack, you are good to go because it won't be ideal for you to have inconsistencies.
Inconsistency, exactly. So you can
Yes.
see from one icon, yeah, I'll be able to generate the fill state and the outline state just by diving into the vector network, like clicking until you then see all these nodes. Then using this your paint bucket and then remove this one, then come here, add this one. As you can see, I've come back to what is here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Then in terms of accessibility also, do you think your green passed?
I actually use the color I made on the design, but it didn't pass. Sha. Yeah.
I think the design is deleted.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm saying the colors are very light.
They're very light. And it doesn't really pass accessibility in real sense because
Doesn't.
if you run your contrast checker on this thing, you will see a lot of
It is
X
disabled. It means like those icons are actually disabled, not like they are not active.
active. So you might want to reduce probably their use a different shade, maybe a lighter shade, just so it's giving off the disabled vibe. And then this will now be your active, which is fine. When it's active, your home also should change in weight. So if you're eating regular, then you might want to go for medium and then let you know that it has changed in weight also, not just different color. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this to everyone also, and you can apply it anywhere generally. So I do not expect you guys to audit this particular platform or this particular all these designs, but when you were designing, is there anyone that particularly got to you that you felt did not work to what you know?
Yes.
Yes, so cite it for me.
This one in particular.
Which one again? Okay. So what didn't work for you?
I don't know. Like I'm not very good with dashboards too, but I felt like compared to what I'm trying to replicate, it was low kind of.
Okay. Like you are saying that you did not perform well in this one.
Yeah, kind of. Somehow.
Okay. Okay. Now your spacing here is off. First off, I mean this is 49, this is 24, so
Uh,
that's really. But if you want to really try and get better, see how you can recreate this again. Like create an archive page, right? Move this to archive, and then see how you can do it again. If you do more than if you do it one, and there's a video I made for where we're working on dashboard. So if you work with that also, and then see how you can do this again, looking at the design clearly, then without wasting time, you will know how to handle it. Do you get that?
yeah.
But if I'm marking it and I see that I can leave any comment, or Umi see that I can leave any comment to assist in verifying a couple of things, we'll definitely drop it. But coming to design this right on this call, you might not be able to do that. Do you get?
Yeah.
All right. I think overall is decent stuff overall though. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
well done.
before we let me just see if there's anybody here again. Uh, Yika, are you back? Did you try a different browser?
Yes, and another account.
Okay. So shoot now, let's see.
All right.
Thank you, Anna.
Secret.
I think another display just now.
Okay. Right. You can see my
Okay.
screen, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. What about now?
One sec. Yes, I can still see your screen.
Okay. So
So,
this is the
oh yeah,
first one.
we'll be quick. Okay. These are
Sorry.
images. Your images. Where did you source from?
I think story set. I got the images from story set.
Okay. Story set,
Yeah.
yeah?
Yes.
Okay. Your sizing, I can see that I mean, this is 18 pixels and then this is 4 pixels to the left. In this one, I'm seeing that it is 16, I mean 14, 14. And over here, I'm seeing it's wonderful with. Is there any consistency there, or am I not seeing it properly?
Mm, I didn't notice that, but
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to access the images. Are they PNGs?
No, they are pictures.
Why
Um,
did you use pictures?
are they PNGs? No, they are pictures. Come again.
Okay, I actually downloaded it like something I could edit from story set, but I just realized that it didn't like fit perfectly into my frame, and I didn't want to like how do I explain this? I, After all, I just changed them. Like I saved it as a JPEG file from Figma.
I think these are PNGs though.
Okay, PNGs, right?
Yeah, yes. PNGs are images.
Without
PNG, JPG, JPEG, they're all images. If you're working
Yeah.
on vectors, yeah, if you're working with illustrations, stick with SVGs.
okay,
Now, there's a reason for this. It's because of pixelation and scalability. Now, if I use an image, yeah, and the developer handles this image. Now, if you design it for a tablet, this image you made the image for a mobile. For a tablet, it will be too wide. It will become pixelated. Did you get that?
yeah,
If I'm moving on to a bigger 12.9 inches iPad, it will become pixelated. But in an SVG, which is a scalable vector graphics, now if you increase it, it doesn't lose its crisp nature. I don't know how to show that is an example of it. But if you increase the size of this, if you scale it up, it gets to a point where it's not clear anymore, right?
It's going to get blurry.
Exactly. But if for a vector network SVGs, you can easily reduce, you can easily manipulate, you can increase, you can resize,
Straightforward.
and it will still work.
all right,
Another reason in terms of size. Now, well, when designing, but I will not advise you to bother yourself about it now. But just keep it at the back of your memory, right? Now, when designing a usable product, there are a lot of things to put into account. Should your product have 60 megabytes download size? Would the user want to download 60 MB application, right? Because these images now, if you export them, cumulatively, the image alone will take about 2 megabytes cumulatively, because one of them is about 700 kilobytes, right? But for a scalable vector graphic, which is HVGs, it's 13 kilobytes for one. Sometimes they're having bytes. So imagine if you are having about 10 of it, 10 of those ones is equal to one image in terms of size. Do you understand?
yeah,
So when you're working with illustrations, you don't use PNGs, you use SVGs. Now, when you said you placed it and then it was too small, it was too big, I don't fully understand that because you can easily resize. I know I've taught you guys about V and the K tool, which is V to move, K to scale. So you click on K and then you scale it down to the size you want. Do the same thing for the other ones, and then you have a perfect design. Do you get that?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think you repeated them exactly, or you made a modification to it? And why did you make that modification?
Okay. So I decided to bring my skip to the left hand side because I thought it would be like a stretch for the user to like stretch their hands to click that skip where it is. So I
Hmm.
decided to like bring it down for them to
Okay.
yeah.
My help.
Okay. Okay. But sometimes, yeah. So I'll just point this out. Now, the onboarding, these three screens are called onboarding. Yeah. So they are not just something you put out there because you feel like you want to put it, but rather this onboarding section, it helps to onboard the user into the application. So it's more like you are letting them know about what they would see or what they stand to gain into when they come into the platform, right? So it's, this onboarding is a very important section because it's your first impression you give to your user. Like if the onboarding is whack, they might never continue. For example, if I'm on a tablet and I see a pixelated PNG, I might decide to quit because what's this? It's not well thought out. At the same time, the skip button being at the top, more often than not, is better at the top. That's because we don't want them to really skip. I don't know if you get that.
Yeah.
So we don't really want them to skip. We want you to know that you can travel around the world with our products. We want you to know that let's travel, and we want you to know that let have fun. Although all these things you can change them because they don't make too much sense. But you get my point. So the
Yeah.
skip at the top was actually for a reason. It's to be difficult to reach so that it's easier for you to click next down to move up click skip and come down. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, and that's actually very subjective. The application requires the users to actually go through the onboarding.
The
You
onboarding
should
section.
press them to reach the skip, but you're putting the skip for them to, for the users that intentionally on their own, probably you mistakenly go to the onboarding when you've already onboarded. You want to skip them. Design decision or any element you are putting on your UI is should be very intentional. It should come from an informed point of view, not like
So for some products, yeah, you having it at the bottom actually works. Yeah, user
yeah.
advocates, we appreciate that. But for some other products, you having it at the top, having it difficult to reach is actually the best line of action. So I can't validate whether it's best to go to skip or to bring it down.
No, it's
But
subjective.
exactly. But if you are enough to convince your stakeholders that having it at the bottom, of course, you have to be informed to convince them. You can't just tell them it's based on vibes, right? You have to let them know that research has shown that this is preferable to this one. Show them what other related products within your niche are doing. Because of course, if they are doing that, meaning there's a reason for that, and users are used to that. So give them data-backed decisions before you
Yes, yeah,
give a decision. You understand? Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I think. And also preview this on your Figma mirror, right? Preview this on your Figma mirror and see if it works for you.
All right.
Yeah, preview it on Figma mirror. Then also your button, I can see that it looks like a button, but the tap area is not large enough. All the space underneath here, are you keeping there's something to occupy here sometime in the future?
The
So
future.
I mean, if peradventure, probably if you go to your fifth screen now, something is like on the bottom and then cover here, at least it makes sense. You live in the space here. But if there's nothing to occupy it, then you might want to spread this guy a bit. so that the tap area is large enough for anybody to click on next. Did you get that?
All right. Yes.
Now I see that you're using 20 pixel margin. Any reason why?
Actually, no,
Sorry?
no. Just my personal preference, actually.
Okay. Oh, I see. Maybe you make your own OS. You have iOS, you have Android. You can just make one, and then that should that can work for you, and that's only your own. But overall, though, I think it's decent. It's decent stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's decent stuff. So I think time is far gone. I don't want to keep you guys here too long. So I'll just looking at this where is the replica?
Up here, I can bring it beside it.
Yes, please. I'm looking at your we help people, and it's not. What do you think, you yourself? Do you think you
Sorry?
give enough? We help people. This guy and this. Do you think you give enough white spacing? Do you think you give white spacing enough between these guys?
I think.
Looking jam packed for me. Yeah.
Oh,
Don't you
okay.
think so? No, I mean for me, you're the designer. Don't you think it's looking jam packed?
Uh, it looks good to me, but
Of course. 80
I said
pixels, your text size. Okay. And this one, 24 pixels also. 24.
Mm.
What desktop size are you using? But before you check what desktop size are you supposed to use ideally?
sorry.
What desktop frame size are you supposed to use ideally?
For this particular project,
For web design, for website design, what desktop frame size are you supposed to use?
I thought I could use any.
So I didn't get that. Sorry.
I said I thought I could use any desktop script design.
Ah. Ah. Okay. I know we've highlighted it before that when you're working for mobile, it's advisable to use 375 by 812, which is the iPhone 11X or iPhone 13 mini. That because it's easily visible by um, our point grids, right? If you're using desktop, it's advisable to use 1440, which is the which is normal desktop 14401024. It's advisable to use that if you are designing for web. So it's not just any. You don't just use any. So thank you very much. I think that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it.
Mention something. While you're informing yourself about this of your typefaces, try you can go to a website to check like most websites. And when you have been on your Figma, but on the implementation is going to actually be large.
Exactly.
Anyone implements this is going to be very, very big. So you can use other sites as Q. Just go to another website, inspect, check the base font, like the body navigation. Use that to inform what you're doing so that if you express why you made some decisions thing already existing that is like that, and that thing is actually what.
So I know we highlighted something that you can use to get all these font size. We use them. We use what font, which is a popular extension on your Google Chrome. And I think I've shown you guys how to use what font Ninja. We even dropped the resource we will drop it on the resource list for that last week task. It's intentional, right? So that you can use it and go and check up on other websites and see what they use for their H1, what they use for their body, line height, and all of that, and probably form a line around all those things.
Yes,
But
and also your typography skill.
exactly. But with repetition come mastery. So I don't
Yeah,
expect that with this first one you should definitely know everything. But doing this, the next one, that's why I would give 10. And you notice we did not leave it only to website, we split it among um, web apps, mobile website, and all of that. So by repeating over and over again, you should already be getting a mental image of the appropriate size that fits
yeah, and what's
your
constant
H1.
or
Yeah.
consistent. And also, if you want to, I know Manuel mentioned something. He said it look fine to you. If you want to use like calculate line height that is appropriate for the font in 4 points grid, you can just multiply it by 1.5 and use like if you are using 12 pixels, 12 pixel by 1.5 to give you a good line height for that. So I'm sure that if you do that for this, we help people, it's going to be a lot better. I'm talking about the
Yeah. No, I get that.
yes,
I
yes.
just hope she understands.
Did you understand? Do you understand, right? Not sure she's here.
Oh, she,
Yeah.
Did you get yours?
Sorry,
Oh, I said, did you get what I
I I didn't get what you said.
mm. That for your line height, I noticed you mentioned that it looked fine for in your eyes. We're able to validate that you should try and probably use 1.5 is the standard a lot of places in a lot of multiply your font size by 1.5 to get your ideal line height for anything, any font size, copy, H2, anyone. So for your, we help people connect with their right men and also try and look at the design you're replicating, look at how compact it is, compare it with your own. Like try also while you're doing this replication, compare the designs you have and your it, which one is more appealing to you, which one do you think you should improve on, which one do you think they should have done better, all of those things. You've been doing it, be able to stretching your creativity to be able to do other things that you won't imagine yourself you will be able to do, like to create buttons, icons that you see that ideally you don't have access to or you can't find, you'll be able to find it anywhere. So it's actually stretching you, stretching your creative way that way. So you can stretch yourself to do things. You will see because somebody actually pushed themselves more than what they can do to actually do those.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, but overall, though, I think it's decent stuff. But as I said, with repetition come mastery. So what you don't understand, yeah, dive into it again and do it again. Once you do it 3 times, you should understand it. If you don't understand it, then you call external help to get that. So
Thanks.
thank you very much. The last person though is Adesewa. I don't know if she's here, but if you are here, um, are you here first off?
Wait, sorry, is the person's first name Adeshewa or like part of the
No,
name?
Olive Osofowora Adesewa. Okay, that's you. Yeah. I don't know if we might be able to, because it's almost 7:30. I don't know, but before we dive into, let me just share my screen. Let me just show you guys the mock-up I was talking about. Yeah. Um, one moment. I'll just share my screen now. So for mock-ups, right, there are multiple ways of presenting your designs. If you when you are done designing, you now want to present it to either stakeholders, the clients, your development team, or your social media portfolio, maybe, right? A different ways of doing it. There's no one way. But once you go out there, you see how somebody did theirs that resonated with you, then you can now come in and then do yours that way. So I'm showing you guys probably two ways to do it. One is the plugin format. Another one is already established design for from the community. Like, you can just put your work in, right? Also, when we probably later on we can share a resource on presentation, just so that you can exploit and then better present your designs. But for this one, I'll just use this the plugin called Artboard Studio Mockups, right? So install the plugin. Come here, go to plugin and type Artboard Studio. So you should see it and then you run it, right? So it gives you a list of. If my screen is frozen, can you guys see my screen?
No, it's frozen.
Can you see it now? Look, can you guys see my screen now? Okay, so I'll just go to plugin, Artboard Studio, and then add mockup item. One second, let me see.
Is your screen freezing? Like,
You can see it.
it's static.
Okay. 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 Let me stop sharing and then share that again. Okay, so as I was saying, sorry about that. If you come at the top here, search for Artboard Studio, click on run, and then this should run for you. So you can easily check for the one that works for you. But since I designed for mobile, so I would like to put it in a mobile frame. Now there are other locked ones, but there are some free ones that can work for us. So let's say I want probably the way this is slanted, right? So I click on it and it gives me two two designs. I mean two elements. So don't close this. This is a way of using Artboard Studio, right? So don't close this. Bring one of that your design and bring it inside the frame that they gave you. They will give you two frames. One is a screen, while the other one is the design itself. So you can bring your design and put it inside the frame. Now, depending on what you are doing, the frame might be smaller or bigger, so you just scale it up to fit by using your K tool, right? K to scale up. Now you have it inside here. click on it, and then render selected frame. It will render, and it will now enter into this slanted, and it's still coming up. Yeah, but now it has entered into this slanted format. So now I can then resize this slanted format the way I want, then put put my larger frame around it, and I have what I need. So this is just this one way of getting what you want. You can do it for another image, for different other images. So another one is going on the Figma community, um, and just search for UI mockup 2.0. I will share that link.
Yeah, and there are a lot of plenty. I mean, there are a lot of mockups tools you can. Ozino, I don't know how to pronounce his name. That AR/VR guy, he created one
Okay,
for a long
okay,
time.
yeah, Zenua.
Recently, so you see a lot of already made. You just go and drop your design
Your
screen,
design is inside.
and there is UI mock up. My friends actually worked on that, so you just drag and drop your, and voila, you have
Okay,
your.
your mockup. For example, this one now probably I like this thought. I like the way this is done. I could just copy this to my main design, right? And then I have this. I have three editable phones here. So now what I could do is copy as PNG. Let's click on the first. Now this is what I have: three editable screens. Three editable screens. I can click on this first one, right? Right click on it, copy as PNG. Copy as PNG. That's copied, right? Now, holding my control key, I can now click on one of these images for the mockup we are trying to replace, and I just paste it. Holding my control key, click on one of these just to go right into the screen itself, then Control V, and I've pasted that. I can do the same for this other one. Click on this second home, copy as PNG, come here, Control V, come here, Control V. So you can see that I have something I can present out there. If I want to probably change maybe I don't like the way it's just black, I can then modify it the way I want it to be. Just the way I want it. I can leave it like that. When I'm done, I export my mockup, and eventually this is I should if I exported it, it should be in my desktop. Where is it just now? Let me just export it again. So export to app mockup 19, yeah. Oh yeah, see it there. Here go hide. So yeah, I mean now look at what I've done. So now I can now put this out there on where my WhatsApp, wherever I want to put it, and it's a mock-up. So what I did as just these screens here, which is not presentable. I can't just send somebody this. I can just take a screenshot of this and send them. Now I've put it in a more presentable way that can be shared. You get it. So that if you go to the community, just search, come to the community, search for mockups. You should see a lot of mockups that it's a whole lot of them. The same way I showed you how to use in this one by copying as PNG, right? And then pasting inside here. The same way you do in other mockups you share the community. An alternate way to do it is saving this image as exporting this image first. So if I export this home image first, let's say I export the home image now, and I come inside this first one. I want to put the home image. All I need to do is just come here, just the way I taught you guys how to change images. Come here, choose image, select the home that we just exported, and it's already in there. There are two ways to do it. Either you copy as PNG or you export the image first before you then bring it back. The disadvantage of you exporting first is that it will take your device space because you will forget to go and delete it later. That's why what I do is I just copy as PNG, come in here and do Ctrl V, and I've already pasted it, and it's in there. I hope that makes sense. So I think that's pretty much it though. For Olivia, you might have to do this again because it's not exactly picture perfect. You can tell. So maybe you can take on that. I don't know why all these lines are here. I have no idea what these lines are doing. I don't know what these lines are doing here because they're not really guiding much. But I mean, the designer should know because if the line is guiding much, then anyway. So yeah, you might have to do this particular one again. I've not gone for others, but looking at it alone, you can tell that it doesn't really align. Like this now is 49 from here. Meanwhile, it should be sitting probably closer to this. Looking at what you have, right? So they are most likely aligned with this one. But in your case, it's not aligned with it. But this way, this one is. So, but yours now is away from it. I hope you can see that. Now that's for this one. Also, this image, this stuff you use there are actually very pixelated. Very, very pixelated. They are way too big and not appropriate compared to what you have here. Now, I also like to point out something. When you're designing, try not to remove the vector from the icon. How do I mean? I have an icon set here. So let's say I pick up this icon. And it's out here. If I use an icon pack, it will not come as a component. So if you're using normal feather icons, let's say we're using feather icon, I'll just show you the difference quickly before we can wrap up. So see, I'm using feather icon, I have this, right? As you can see, this one did not come as this. I can easily edit this. I can easily drag. Perhaps I want to move this particular icon now, and I click on this center. If I'm moving just that thing, right? But in this one, if I want to move this one, if I click on it, I am moving everything. But in this case now, if I click on this here, maybe the intention is to move everything, right? Or if I click on this and I'm moving only the circle. Now sometimes it might just be a circle. Now when you move it, it then becomes a regular vector. That's what I'm seeing here. So as you can see, this your home. It's a regular vector. There's no boundary. Now notice that this guy is a 20 by 20 pixel. So you might now say that the adequate size is 24 by 24. You will now increase it by 24. Now move it to 24 by 24. Now, when you bring this with this, they are both 24, right? But visually, they are not the same. If I click this, is 24. If I click this, 24. They are both 24, but visually it's not the same. Now that's because inside, even if it's 24, right? Inside it, you see some 2 pixel padding around them, right? But if I click on the arrow left frame, it is 24, but the circle itself is 20. Now people take out time to make all this stuff. They call them iconographers. So they intentionally did not make this, they intentionally gave space around it, white space around it, intentionally. So you bringing it out and saying that it's too small, no wonder it's 20. You now move it to 24, right? It's, you will eventually scatter your design generally. But so what I'm trying to say is, if you're using outside, you're using an icon, be careful not to move the vector itself, but rather move the frame. Now this is the frame, the arrow left circle. Click on it and then move it. If you don't know if you're clicking on it, when you want to move, come to the layers panel, click on it before you move. Because if you don't, once I click on this one and I move, I am moving just that line. Meanwhile, the intention was to move the whole block. So that's pretty much what happened in this case. You are moving just the vector, which is 40 by 40, not not the whole line. So you might have to look into that again. I mean the travel app, I think it's travel on pretty decent. But the aim of this is not to look at your stuff, it's actually ask you how you went through, how you got across it. Well, because of time, you might not be able to do that so that everybody can go and rest. I mean it's been up to nearly 3 hours. So on that note, thank you for coming. Is there any question though? Let me just check quickly. Yeah, do you have to create an account to be able to use the mockup? Well, for some you might have to, for others you don't have to, but you have to experiment that by yourself. Then somebody's asking, why do we use a 4 point or 8 point system? Can't designer decide what to use based on their choice? And I know we've handled that some time ago, so it's a slide that they're asking this question. But for it helps in consistency. I know we've spoken about it before in terms of fundamentals of UI. So 4 point grid or 8 point grid system, it helps in creating a consistent look of your design. There's 4, 8, there's 12. Well, the fact that 12 can go into, I mean 4 can go into 12, right? So 4 stands out. 4 can go into 8, so 4 still stands out. So in real sense, it's actually a 4 point grid, but considering the fact that we do not use 4 point as our for anything in design in terms of typography, so that's why they are calling it the 8 point grid system. So while using 8, when you now want to go into details, you now drop into 4. While using 4, when you want to now go into more details, you then drop into 2. That's why sometimes you see people using 10 pixels as their text. 10 pixels is not the 4 point grid, it's not the 8 point grid, but it's in 2 point grid. That is them going into details. And more often than not, when they use 10 pixels, you notice that their it's all caps. Their typography is all caps. So I don't know if I'll be able to answer your question though. But if I've not, then that should spur you to maybe read more on 4 point grid system, how it originated and why it's used. Maybe that will answer the question a lot more. Yeah, is it necessary to use the font on screens we are creating? No, it's not necessary to use the exact font, but of course it has to be informed. So if you are changing it for this purpose though, if I'm changing it, has to be informed on why did it change, and then give us a reason for that. But I would not grade you poorly if you did not use the exact font. Although I say pixel perfect, so we still might change our mind to follow pixel perfect. So if that's what the question, think that's all questions from you guys. Is that the question so far? Yes.
Okay. Some of the desktop designs, the size was bigger. Like that mentor's landing page, it was bigger than the normal desktop size. So I guess that's why a lot of us had to increase the size of the screen, because if we had to fix everything in that desktop screen, I don't know, the design might not really come out well. Might be looking so compressed. So in situations like that, what do we do?
Yes, if I'm designing for I'm designing for 1440, depending on what I have on my screen. Yeah. So my header one can actually be 56 pixels. If I see that the text I'm using is probably a long text, maybe the wordings I want to put in that header one side is a long one. At the same time, I want to put images on the right hand side to accompany the text. Then I have to drop my one has to reduce either the size, the dimension of my shapes or the size of my text. But increasing your screen, now you've increased the screen and then it fits perfectly. Give it to developers. Oh yeah, now me that have been a small screen, what will happen for me? It will still look compressed. I don't know if you understand. So that's why we move from down up. It's easier to increase than to reduce. So if you work with the 1440 and the 1025 as your standard dimension, using your adequate margin that we spoke about in terms of grid layout, using the appropriate
But
typography skills.
you agree with me like that atom, the first landing page, that one can never be 1440 by 1024 size. The first
Well,
one.
well, you can use your inspect to. No, it depends on your screen size. Now on my screen, I'm using the
Mm.
1440, so it works for me, right? It cannot be bigger than 1440 for me because that's the size of my
No, I'm
laptop.
talking about the whole landing page. It's very long.
No, no, you don't still get me. We've
I
said it
guess.
before.
Okay.
You can easily increase the height. Do you get it?
Okay.
You can increase the height of your designs, but you cannot increase the width. Do you understand?
Okay.
Height is up to down vertically. You can increase that one down because, of course, you cannot leave all the information in 1440 by 1024. I can have 1440 by 17,000 if that's what it takes, but I should not increase the width of my screen because I feel like it's not enough. The
Oh,
width,
okay. It's the
the
width
width
that
should be
should not be
standard,
cut.
but the
Oh,
height
okay.
can, of course, be modified.
Okay. Thank
Do you
you.
get
I
that?
get.
Yes, Abraham, the hands were up, so that'll be the last question I'll take for tonight, though. That the question you just dropped. Yeah, yeah. I think I will check. I will check for it. I will check for it and I'll share it again. I'll check for the guidelines. But if you check for human-centered guidelines on Google, you should see it. Well, yeah, I will just source it out and drop it out for you quickly. So is that all from everyone? Juliana.
I
I
have no up.
understand.
Hello? Can everybody hear me?
You. I can't.
So I just want to wish Mr. Emmanuel a happy birthday and to thank him for all he has been doing for us, for all his patience, for all his teachings. Just want to say God bless you. May God always be with you and abide with you. And
Oh,
we are here to sing for you. Everybody, are you ready?
yes.
Happy
Happy
birthday
Birthday
to
to
birthday.
you.
you.
See,
Happy
I've
birthday
I've learned
to
to be
you.
peaceful. I've learned to be peaceful.
Happy birthday. Happy
Long shot.
birthday.
You go go down.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday.
to
good Lord bless you. May
Hooray!
the good Lord keep you. May the good Lord bless you, Samuel. May the good Lord bless
May the
you.
Lord
May the
bless
good
you.
Lord bless
Happy
you.
Thank you
birthday,
very much.
sir.
Thank you
I want cake. That's what.
We
very
are
much.
sending virtual cakes, so we are sending virtual cakes.
Yeah, I can see it. I'm eating. I'm actually fed. Like Jesus Christ. I think I'm purging. Crazy.
Mr. Emmanuel, happy birthday, Mr. Emmanuel.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
for being
you.
so patient with
Yeah.
us. Thank you for being so understanding. Thank you for being an amazing tutor. Thank you for your time. We are really appreciate and love you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
Who is
you. Thank
cutting
you.
onions?
Thank you very
Oh
much.
God.
Happy birthday, Milord.
I'm cheery. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god,
Aww.
what I say? Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate this. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Please, you always
Okay,
continue.
the cakes have been shared, so everybody check the chat section and take your cake. Please, one slice per
Thank
person.
you.
Yes,
Thank
one slice per
you.
person.
Thank you.
Please leave some so that I can give it to Rachel and let me before what she sack me. Yeah, yeah. Don't mind me, don't mind me. But thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So and enjoy the night, everybody else. We'll sync up tomorrow. So we're talking about Web3, introduction to Web3 generally tomorrow. And Web3 design in particular, because I'm sure you guys have been onboarded into Web3. So tomorrow will be the time where we start actually doing what the fundamentals, or rather the climax of this whole program is, which is onboarding you guys fully into designing for the Web3 industry. And lucky, graciously, Umi is here, who is actually working in the Web3 industry. So she has first-time hand knowledge of what's needed at every given point in time. So keep your questions ready, spread the word, let people know that this is what you do, and we'll try our best to pass on what we have as knowledge to you guys. And hopefully, later, we shall all meet and share some tokens and be some holders. Thank you very much,
Yes.
guys.
I want the
Enjoy the night.
sharing from sharing tokens.
Then you get to participate in the bounty, so I don't know how that works, but very soon it's coming up very soon. So you might want to get acquainted with how it works, so that you can let people know that product design mentorship team we are winners. You understand? Because I want to get that bounty. I think it's $5K or $10K. That's how we can sponsor my trip to Madais. Let me
Oh,
stop. Let me stop recording, please.